Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It looks like Cupid shot Bitcoin straight up the tush because we see a $52,000 price point today. If you guys are ready to figure out why, it's time to discover crypto. I saw DZ coming in.
Capital flight is coming to the United States. The dollar is going to zero.
And that's what makes Bitcoin so special.
You have to have gone through a couple cycles to understand.
Once the price is able to clear this level, the breakout is on its way.
This is your indication to jump in now.
So I think DZ was trying to rub the bull in the background here.
Bitcoin's
pumping.
Party time. Excellent. Little Wayne's World reference for everybody. How are we doing? Hey, it's Valentine's Day, Josh. You know what? Before we get into the show, I just want to leave with a little Valentine's Day message here. If we can share my screen. Today is Valentine's Day, fellas. Buy some flowers, okay? Buy a card. Show you care. I'm going to give everybody a pro tip. When you come home today, just have a little burst of positivity. Even if you're tired, wore out, roofing in Arizona, digging ditches, just have a burst of energy for the first 20 seconds. When you get home, 20 seconds will be remembered far longer than the 20 seconds of effort right there. So just set the tone.
Hey, anything that helps us last more than
Day.
20 seconds is a great second. So, thank you.
I meant, walking in and greeting, not, other than that, yeah, you got to go longer.
Exposed. But guys, speaking of flirting here, Bitcoin's been flirting with $69,000. We got some insane price action happening on CoinGecko today, seeing $52,000 last night. Waking up was such a great feeling this morning. Even though it was freezing, it's cold in here. I'm still getting used to that Atlanta frost that I'm not used to in Florida. Seeing Bitcoin just jump was awesome this morning. Ethereum sitting at $2,700 now. It feels like just yesterday it was flirting with $2,500, and we're like, is it going to break through?
I got a little bit of a Celsius claim about 4 days ago. Not a whole lot. I was pretty open. I lost 2 ETH. I had 2 ETH staked on that platform because I was like, I'll check it out. That ETH and the Bitcoin that they gave me has just been pumping. So, Celsius, good timing. If you would have done it this week, I wouldn't have had nearly as much.
Oh, yeah. And of course, there is some amazing reasons why markets are pumping. Metrics that we haven't ever seen before that essentially prove that this bull run will be the mother of all bull runs. And we'll get to those in just a second. Let me know what altcoins you guys are holding in the chat as we read through the top ones, guys. We're about to click on the top performers in the last 24 hours. So I'm curious to know what you guys are holding so we can see if they pop up on there. But we got Solana here at $117, BNB $330, XRP sideways as always. No, 53 cents.
XRP moved 3% today. And, for some with that large market cap, 3% feels good.
It feels great, except that you see Solana, which is even bigger, up 23%. Cardano up 20%. We have, of course, Avalanche in the top 10 at $41. Chainlink still holding above $20.
Barely. I'm gonna hit refresh. It looks like $20.02.
Hey, we'll keep it. We're gonna keep it up.
Life support for $20.
I believe we have another Chainlink video, or was it last night that the Chainlink video went out?
We dropped the Chainlink video last night. So those who watched it, there's a little secret. There's a secret activity happening involving a major credit card company. Go watch last night's video. No one else has talked about this. No one else has made a video about this. No one's made an article about this. DZ found it, pouring through, found a GitHub repository. Guys, just watch last night's video.
It's insane. But you know what? Speaking of something that is criminally underrated right now is Polygon Matic at number 15 here, 88 cents. I think Polygon Matic under $1 is and should be honestly illegal at this point, but seeing that up 10%. But speaking of the top 24 hours here, guys, I saw a lot of great projects coming into here. We have SEI up 19%. Stacks. Shout out to all my stack holders up there, guys. We are up over 5x now on that position from buying at 46 cents. Dimension here. DYM, $8.27. Pyth. Shout out to Pyth.
Pyth
here.
I've been told it's Pyth.
Well, man, it's pithing all over the charts with this green here. So, seeing that 11% is wild. 39 in the last 7 days.
Almost 40%. Yeah, that's looking really good. And still under $1. And, some say, hey, any Pyth under $1 is a good buy. I have a little bit. I wish I would have bought more, though.
Oh, I think that's how we always feel, especially with VeChain here. I haven't seen that in the top movers in quite a bit. VeChain getting some traction with that 0.03 cents.
Drew, you've been following VeChain for a while. What are your thoughts on VeChain? 25 cents. Now, it is 3 cents. I remember, it was a quarter. It used to be, felt like nickel was about as low as it was going to go. If we go to the charts here, yeah, you see it went up to 25 cents in the first part of the bull run of 2021. And then I thought a nickel was going to be pretty strong support. I was like, wow, look at that bounce off a nickel. It's almost hitting 8-9 cents here. And then now it's, there's VeChain you could have got for under 2 cents, a penny and change. Do you still like VeChain at 3 cents, Drew?
I've always kind of thought VeChain was a good project. Things are waking up. That looks in general like a healthy altcoin chart to me. It looks like the lights are coming back on. I mean, it was just the process of going to a bear market. We got used to numbers that were just really scary, down 95%. Opportunity of a lifetime. If you took advantage of it, you're up well right now. I think VeChain is going to be a pretty top contender for the next
Drew,
bull.
Nicole, this message is almost for you. Y'all, I'm so proud of me. My first pick was a meme coin,
Yes.
and it's making history at $3.24. It is. Yeah, it's above
at
$3.
$3 now?
We were talking about on ATB under 50 cents. Me and Blood were like, yeah, I think it'll go up. We were both talking about we should probably put a position in just because of the landscape of 2024. He's going to be talked about more as we get closer to November. Didn't pull the trigger, missed out on that 6X right there. And Padrino says Chainlink pumped 30 minutes after my video. So
that's why you have to have notifications on and be subscribed here, so you stop missing on that.
If
easy
you watched
alpha.
that video, you would have got bullish on Chainlink.
How many times have we said buy Chainlink in the last 2 months?
I think we pointed out signs that shut up and buy Chainlink at, what was it, 13, 14?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
It just keeps raging. It keeps raging. But, VeChain, I wanted to jump right back to that really quick. That's actually the project that got my parents into crypto finally. I got my dad to pick that up at about a penny before it went up on that crazy bull run up to like 24
Could
cents.
you talk, what was the selling point? So I'm assuming he's a little bit more normie when it comes to crypto. He's not asking you about the deep BSC ecosystem gaming pick that's 200K market cap. So what did you say to your normie relative to get him to invest in Chainlink?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. Honestly, I think we should be asked that a lot more often, was the fact that it was a supply chain booster that was going to make that process more efficient for companies like Walmart and BMW. My dad's huge into cars, so it was kind of like, wow, this actually has a lot of value to it in terms of the efficiency of that overall supply chain. So another project I wanted to give a little hidden gem to the community here today, because it's Valentine's Day, and I love each and every single one of you, is another one. So I held VeChain from, a few, whatever, I think it was like $20-30 million up to, the billions that it hit in the last bull cycle. Another one is actually Morpheus Network, another supply chain ecosystem, very similar to VeChain. And I definitely recommend you guys check this one out. I still do hold this. So there's your disclaimer here. No affiliation other than that. But the CEO of this company is the lead supply chain expert for masterclass production at the United Nations. And DHL, one of the largest logistic providers in the world, is their head of logistics.
So they know Nikki Haley.
Probably.
Okay.
But if that narrative with VeChain does start taking off again, I have my bags in those ecosystems.
All right. Well, are there any losers in the markets today? And there really isn't. I mean, you have TIA less than 1%.
Which is TIA really a loser? I mean,
that's odd. It's
been a winner.
It doesn't even really have like overbought on the weekly. It's only 7.9% in the green. So TIA down a little bit. That's just an interesting find, I thought, though. But what do we got for stories? I know, will you be mined? Fun little Valentine's Day card right there. I like that one. That's one of the better ones I've seen as far as crypto Valentine's cards
Right now, the mine I'm loving is Chlor. So we have a video coming out on here soon as well. Again, guys, put +1 in the chat if you want more mining videos. We're going to be doing breakdowns on how to actually use those networks, whether you're just interested or not. We want to start giving you guys those how-to tutorials. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin bulls flirting with $69,000. So W's in the chats, guys. Bitcoin price target as crypto market nears $2 trillion here. So, of course, we're getting a lot of positive upside pressure right now. Bitcoin over 51,000. You might have the exact number as we speak. But right now, from a TA perspective, charts are seeming very, very, very bullish. And so we're going to have Kelly joining on us here in a little bit, and we'll have him break down all of those indicators and reasons for those oscillators. But guys, the real reason today is simply the Bitcoin ETF flow. I believe, did you pull up the chart, DZ? You had a great one on Twitter.
Yeah, I have one right here.
I would love to pull that up.
Had it up. It is a Bitcoin ETF total flow. So first day we came out the gate, Eric was like, hey, just calm down. This is the first day. Then day 2 slowed down. And it was like, hey, this is expected.
Wow.
Grayscale selling is just a little bit higher than we expected. Third day, it was red. Fifth day, it was red. Seventh day, eighth day, ninth day. They're saying, you know what? It was all a scam. Look at Grayscale. Look at how much Grayscale is selling, fudding you out of the bags, shaking you out of the markets. 11 days in, the reverse started. And then yesterday, massive amount of inflows. We have never had Wall Street buying more Bitcoin than they did yesterday.
And what I wanted to say off that too was very interesting. If you go back to that chart, if you guys notice where that dip is, where it starts going to red to green, that is also the same time period as soon as they started launching ads through Google. So, not necessarily going to be 100% correlated to the inflow price action we're getting there. But this could prove that, man, those advertisements are working. And it's kind of like that compound effect. We were talking about this the other day, where more and more people are going to start hearing about this. Guys, these are the best performing ETFs that have ever existed. These are the best financial products we probably have seen since Jack Bogle's index funds in 1975. So the amount of inflow we're getting from this, I think, is highly undervalued. And I do believe Bitcoin ETFs will compete with silver here very soon.
Yeah, just massive amounts, and just is telling the tale right now. The fact that we're seeing these green days coincide after Wall Street buying, and the Google advertising is a really good point. Does advertising work? I mean, I think everybody who says advertising works clearly, but it doesn't work on me. And if everyone thinks that, there's something maybe, not accurate there.
Would they pay for advertising if it didn't work?
Exactly.
That's kind of
like, clearly works.
It clearly works here. And so, guys, this is an insane number. But Bitcoin ETFs boost holdings with 12,073 Bitcoin amid market surge here. So lots of activity and a significant move that underscores the growing institutional interest in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin ETF in the United States have collectively added over 12,000 Bitcoins to their holding. This acquisition, valued at approximately, get this, $590 million, marks a notable shift in the landscape of digital asset investments. So we are getting massive momentum in these ETFs. It's not slowing down. This is historical growth. You guys see the headlines here. This isn't clickbait. This is historical growth. These are historical metrics. So Bitcoin is being obsessed, and Wall Street is in love with Bitcoin right now. So we're going to, I honestly think, see more inflows coming into this. We have the Bitcoin halving coming up. Like, you guys, hold on to your seats. Don't let that FOMO itch get to you, right? But seriously, the events and the catalysts that are taking place over these next few months just tells me an all-time high for Bitcoin could actually happen before that Bitcoin halving.
It is certainly possible. It's a little unlikely, but I do think we're going to get in a new all-time high in 2024. I'm just feeling more and more firmly in that direction. Max B is a really good question for the newer viewers. I don't have much capital, and I'm fairly new to crypto. What should I look for when choosing coins? In layman terms, please.
Probably Blofin. That's going to be the website you definitely want to pick up cryptos on. But what are you looking for?
I'm looking for one thing that is more important. Educate yourself on market cap versus token price. If you're new to crypto, that might be a newer term. And so, I don't want to get you deep into the weeds and look at L1s, L2s, and the ordinals. Just look at market cap versus token price. And if that sounds confusing, it's a good thing that you're looking it up right now. So market cap is just going to be the entire value of the company. The token price is going to be, the number of shares divided by that value, or the value divided by the number of shares. So educate yourself on that, because that coin that's 50 cents is going to look better than that coin that's 70 cents, but you need to educate yourself on the market cap.
Yeah, and I think something you guys may want to screen record right now or share this video with a friend, because this part, I would say another thing on top of that is simply getting over the psychology in these markets, these emotions. And so in front of me on these charts is going to be the fear and greed index. I know a lot of people don't like seeing this, because when we're in the green, they just want to hear, Josh, tell me to buy right now. Well, it's like we went from $15K up to now $52,000. We have a massive green candlestick. When you see Bitcoin's fear and greed index all the way in this dark green area, that is generally an area you're going to go, okay, the risk to upside is going to be a lot higher or a lot lower than the downside. And what I mean by that is you're FOMOing into the top of a market. So if a pullback were to happen, it's much more likely at this range than if Bitcoin were to be in the red, right? When everybody is scared and everybody's selling. So I love this simple indicator. If you're brand new to crypto, just understand, if you see extreme greed, there's a phrase that you're going to hear a lot here, and that's be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And so I personally, just wrap this up, like to dollar cost average into the market when we're in the orange and the red. When we're in the green, I like to take profit. So that's just something I like to do historically. We have a video coming on that out tonight that explains how to use this metric and a lot of really cool tools and tricks that, if you're brand new to crypto, can help you along this bull cycle.
You counter trade retail. If retail got it right every time, Wall Street would be the losers and retail would be the winners. Well, we saw dumb money, and we know that's not how it plays out.
And speaking of dumb money, guys, $200 million liquidated as Bitcoin price dumps almost 2K. So yesterday we had a massive, retraction from about $50,000. We broke through it, hit $50,200. The price action broke. We couldn't hold it. Everybody's like, holy smokes, we are falling. We came down to like 48,400. And simply what took place right there was what something is known as dumb money that DZ was explaining, was institutions just selling off some Bitcoin and causing a cascade event to grab all those bears that were on the market. So after a positive week last week in which Bitcoin soared from 43,000 to over 48K and technically 50,000, the asset had a relatively quiet weekend, standing at around the ladder. Later this day, Bitcoin began to ascend again. This time drove it just over $50,000. This became the highest price tag in over 2 years. And of course, caused the single largest liquidated position occurred on Binance, which was $4.7 million in one position was liquidated due to this event.
It was a live streamer out of an Asian country, and that's his whole, that's his whole thing,
was it
right?
actually
His
him?
audience is like cheering him on as he's just holding his head in
Oh my
pain.
God.
What is that called? That's like a whole content style.
Yeah. I forgot what happened, but was that the actual event that took place again?
No, but you do see that often. It's like these people just trading with
see it
a
all the
little
time.
bit too much leverage. Folks, in a volatile market right now, 3x is okay, 5x is okay. You don't got to go 40x, 50x, 100x on if you want to do a little leverage trading right there. Be careful, because that is how you get shaken out of the markets.
Yeah, 100%. Options data comes out, guys. Bulls focus on surprise price in Bitcoin for June. So right after this price prediction, we're going to see what's happening on the charts with Kelly. But according to data, Bitcoin call options concentrated on strike prices above $50,000 ahead of February's month-end expiration. So according to Deribit data, there is a significant concentration of open Bitcoin call options at strike prices of $60,000, $65,000, and $75,000. And all of these guys, they expire on February 23rd. So the concentration, what this means, guys, of Bitcoin call options at strike prices of these ranges, so between 60 and 75K, indicates that a significant portion of market participants have a particular interest or expectation that Bitcoin's price will rise above this level before the next end expiration
You know who's scared
date.
about this? You know who's scared about Bitcoin's price rising? If we share my screen, Mark Zuckerberg is shaking in fear right now.
Shaking his
Look at
boots.
Bitcoin, still firmly number 10 asset as far as market cap. Meta/Facebook is number 9, silver is number 8, but Bitcoin has a $1.01 trillion market cap. Meta, $1.19 trillion market cap. It does not, Bitcoin can cover this in one day.
Oh, easily. And again, I do think it's going to surpass silver. So for people that don't think Bitcoin's undervalued right now, I truly believe if we pull up that silver chart again, that is such a great website here. We're looking at Amazon, silver, Meta platforms here. I believe Bitcoin's
NVIDIA.
going to continue to cap on those. NVIDIA's CEO also just said something very prominent about Bitcoin with its energy production, saying like it was actually good. He's like, why waste energy that's out there and not capture it with Bitcoin? So that's coming from one of the largest companies in the world. Bitcoin's inching higher and higher and higher. And guys, while that may mean only Bitcoin sees a 2, 3, 4x, what does that mean for altcoins? Right? That is some moon math right there.
All right, here's what I'll say. The strong projects are going to outperform Bitcoin. The weak ones will bleed Satoshis, and the name of the game today is going to be identifying those strong projects. So at the end of the day, we all want more Bitcoin, and then, a lot of people use alts for that purpose. And you do it well, you do great.
We love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very healthy for us.
Yes.
On the cob. We want that Bitcoin on the cob with us. But speaking of on the cob, what's on the charts here today, guys, with Kelly. Kelly, welcome to the stream from the BITLAB Academy. I know we've been having a wonderful week. We have an awesome live stream we're going to be having today going over hidden gems. So, guys, make sure you guys check out the link in the bio with the 30-day free trial. Kelly, welcome to the stream.
First thing I got to say is, let's go. We got the bulls in the house. Were there signals that could have told us to be prepared? There were. Everybody hit that like button right now. If you are in before all these institutions, I got some magic to share with you today. First things first, you guys just mentioned the short squeeze. And this is from Crypto Quant here, Bitcoin, $27 million mass short position liquidation. And we're seeing this. I just want to point this out because things are feeling good. But this does lead to what we call inefficiencies in price action, meaning the price moves up very quickly with not a lot of equal underlying spot buying. And we could see some sideways price action. That's the only thing I'll say on a cautious tail right now. But let's go over just some basic metrics. I'm going to keep it simple today. We have 94% of the people in the market right now in profit. But this is a number I'm most interested in here. Concentration.
I'm proudly part of that 9%, Kelly. Just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, man. We have a concentration by large holders at 11%. I expect this to be moving up up, up. And we want to, all of us, make sure that we're not contributing to this going up because we're selling when the market is triggering our hope and our fear. So let's pay attention to that. But this is really positive. Roughly about just under 70% of the market, the holders out there, Bitcoin being held, about 70% has not moved in over a year, even with the prices we're at right now. So I just wanted to give a little context there. And this is a chart that I think a lot of people forget to consider. Where does this upward move come from? This is the capital flowing into Bitcoin. And if we look in previous cycles, think of this like you're charting on a price action, this upward trend here. And then right at this point, when this flips fully positive here with these dips coming down, we see this is it's coming in right to the halving, and we obviously get this strong parabolic uptrend right here. Similarly, right here, boom, this move right here, we get this strong move, and then another obviously subsequent sell-off. But once we get back to the positive money flow, finding support on this zero line, strong uptrend. Similarly, look at this. We have this uptrending capital flow on the negative side of capital flow, money coming out of the market. And then once we flip positive, we are setting up for an incredible bull run. But what does this mean right now? I told you I was going to keep it simple. And here's the simplest look. This is a daily chart going from the previous high of this range back here when we got up to 14,000. And there's an interesting trend line from here to these lows that does project off and gives us a bit of a target to pay attention to up here at $66,000. What I'm most concerned with or have my eyes on is this peak back here in December 22 to December 23rd, 2021, and we're right at this level. But I just want you to notice this parabola that is formed coming up into this zone. Now, interestingly, before that move, or in the process of building into that additional move we got yesterday, we had this strong bit of hidden bullish divergence, which means we have these higher lows while the strength is going down. Now, what does this mean? This means the price is pushing higher with less strength required to move up. And what do we get? We get a pop to the upside. Now, let's go a little bit more detailed here. And I just want to point out, on the BITLAB Academy daily stream yesterday, which goes live after this stream every day on the BITLAB Academy channel, I drew this classic analysis. Could go up, could go down. And you should always look at two different possibilities. And in this case, this did exactly the up option. Came up, broke this line, came down, found support, pushed up, found a little bit of resistance on this previous range lows, had a little consolidation, accumulation, and then boom, we rocketed to the upside. And in fact, we also have, I don't really want to call it a cup and handle, but we had this W formation and a similar style of a cup and handle. So let's go ahead and take a measured move from there to that bottom. And this measured move on this breakout, look at this. The price action came up roughly right into this target zone. So there were signs in the chart. We also had the money flow here flipping positive right here as the price was still consolidating, letting you know somebody's preparing for a move to the upside. Now, the other thing I wanted to share before we go is that the BlackRock IBIT ETF, look at this volume explosion today. Holy crap.
Huge.
I mean, this is something that I want people to pay attention to. I wrote here, reminder that the Bitcoin price action pumping like we see right now into levels, meaning above 50,000 into near that previous all-time high, this pumping will cause mass organic promotion. This is that mainstream media talking points. Everybody also saying, oh my God, am I missing out? That FOMO flood. And this will basically be that new capital. This is going to be a positive pump pressure loop. Basically, people buying, more awareness coming out there. And so there's so much on the horizon right now. And I just want to say before I go, guys, we have the best deal we've ever offered that is going to be expiring here in the next, by the end of this week. And that's over at lab.bitlabacademy.com. Make sure you go and take advantage of that. We got some live member stream going out today. And we also have the courses. We got the Discord sharing these setups, letting everybody know what's going on. So get involved there. That's lab.bitlabacademy.com.
Kelly, quick question, man. I don't have my trading view signed in right now, so I was wondering if you could look at some of the Lux Algo trading indicator. Are we seeing a little bearish divergence on the 20, 24, 25, 30 minute-ish range, whatever range you like to use there, 23 minutes. Some people get a little creative there. I think I saw a little bit of bearish divergence on the Lux Algo. Are you seeing the same thing play out? A shorter time frame, of course. This would be for a scalp trade.
I can see it here on the Lux Algo oscillator matrix. This is a 15-minute. Hold on a second. Let's go to the 4-hour.
So you
Sorry
saw,
about
well,
that.
no,
I
that's
didn't
too
realize.
high, too high. No, don't go above 30 because, you know, I'm trading scalps here. I'm not doing 4-hour candles because I'm actually in a short right now.
24-minute right here. We see the Lux Algo is trending to the downside right here. The oscillator matrix trending to the downside. And also right here on this premium, basically premium means the cost is a premium. It's you're spending more than likely you should at this level. If you're buying, don't be buying green giant candles. Wait for a dip. If you didn't buy down here, up here, you want to wait for a dip or a break of structure. In this case, we're pushing into that expensive area. See this red box, and we are getting a little bit of a setup that could call. Remember, this inefficiency right here, this is that inefficient move I was talking about. This is what we saw here before we had a distribution and then a clearing out of all this inefficiency. We may see another move like this back down to the $50,300 level. But let's just talk about that real quick, guys. Can you consider the fact right now that we're calling for a potential retrace down to find support on $50,300? The markets are doing what they've been telling us they were going to do for this entire year. All we needed to be was let time be on our side and patience and strategy. So I hope everybody's doing well. Let the market set up the trades that you take. Don't take the trades because the market set you up with emotions.
All right, and the market set me up with a profitable trade. The streak continues because I'm about to put this stop loss into profit right now. This is via Blofin. I saw that bearish divergence playing out on the Lux Algo indicator. I opened up a little baby short, everybody. I am short-term, slightly bearish, long-term, mega bullish. And we're just going to continue the streak, stop losses and profit. And the streak continues. I don't know where I'm at this point, but I got a good streak of profitable trades. And I'm going to keep trying to make these good trades for you folks out there. I'm sorry I got the trade in before the stream started because I do like to open them live with you guys so we can all trade together. But shout out to Blofin here.
Yeah, shout out to Blofin. Shout out to Kelly for joining us today. And just a quick reminder, guys, we got some breaking news coming out here. I'm very curious to know what your guys' price points are when you're buying Bitcoin. Did you buy at 48K? Are you waiting for 45K? Are you waiting for 35K still? When are you entering that market? Where do you expect Bitcoin's price to go next? Let us know in the comments in the chat here. And guys, unfortunately with the ads, guys, it's just part of the game, guys. It's YouTube. YouTube's increasing them. There's more monetization. It's just like when you go on Netflix and everything, there's more and more. But we have the bare minimum on. We appreciate all the love, all the support, all the engagement. And of course, I think if you do join the membership, you are ad-free there, if not with the YouTube Premium. So unfortunately, that's just the way we are going, guys. There's going to be a day where all of a sudden my Netflix, I don't know if you're at that point already, but if you have Netflix, Hulu,
I have all of
Peacock,
them.
dude, you're paying for cable.
Yeah, I have all
You know,
of
you're
them.
paying for cable. It's like
every 2 days I
$150
get a
a
new
month
bill.
now.
Every 2 days there's a new bill. So I just this morning I had an email from Google Pay, Peacock. There's just always something.
Dude, my
there.
Disney was over $20 a month. I don't know why.
That's nuts.
I thought it was like $9.
Well, they did just get the Taylor Swift concert. But, before
geez.
I think we have some breaking news. I want to do one more
Yeah.
normie question right here. Max B, say I have 2 coins, similar market cap, similar token price. What do I look for then? The purpose? How do I determine if a coin's purpose will be profitable? Spoon feed me? Well, at that point, you're just kind of guessing narratives 4 years in the future. Is DSI going to be better than DPIN? That you just have to kind of, do your own internal math there. I'll give you one indicator. Okay, if that's your situation here, you're looking, folks, I'm just scrolling with the wheel. I don't know what I'm going to look at, and we're clicking on this one. Oh, God, it's eagled. All right, I will do this. 2 quick DZ metrics. Does it have a second high in the second half of 21? This one did. So Bitcoin pumped twice. Pumped around March, April, then it pumped around October, November. I want my coin to have its second, I want the second half of the year to have a little bit more bullish price action. Because when you see price this higher first half of 21, it signals people weren't strong believers in the coin. Really, that's really what it signifies.
Shows that there's definitely lower volume too. So definitely a great metric.
And then second, I would just go to their Twitter and then see what's their comms on X. Are they posting often? So these people posted 4 hours ago. And they have the yellow check mark, which means what, 50K.
What's their engagement?
Discretionary spending. Oh yeah. Then look at engagement. Okay, 16,000 views, 535 likes, 500,000 followers. So then you go to another competing project and they haven't tweeted since January 10th. All things being equal, I know what I'd put my money in.
Exactly. No, Great two ways to start just researching those altcoins. There's a bunch of different tools, tips, and tricks, guys, that you can find on this channel. Of course, we got another great video dropping tonight just for you guys for a tool you need to know
I heard
about.
you whisper something about breaking news. When Kelly
Breaking
was
news,
talking.
guys.
What's going on
News
here?
anchor. This just dropped, okay, on CNBC. It's a 4-minute clip. So I'm going to test the audio really quick, make sure we have this through. I want to do a live reaction because it looks like none other than Joe Squawk on the squat box here actually defended Bitcoin against Chairman Gary Gensler live. So we got a 4-minute clip here.
Whoa, wait. Gensler's on there? And
Gensler's on it live.
No, this morning?
This is morning.
Oh, let's watch this.
Okay, so I want to hit the audio.
Yep.
Right. It's
You
not
have
just that it
audio?
closed down.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and do this. Make sure you can see. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. Or is that fine right
Yeah,
there? That's fine. I like it
That's
there.
fine.
All right, there we go.
You've seen the comments, right? It's not just that he closed down, that he would say it's used by drug dealers and used by folks who are doing all sorts of illicit and terrible things. There's very few things that trade today that people talk about like that. Now, there are obviously frauds and things that happen, but maybe not like this.
Like the dollar is like 100 times more.
Well, I know that's your perspective, but I'm I'm curious how you think about that.
That's true, though. This is how much has been money laundered with Bitcoin. This is how much. This is Bitcoin. This is dollar.
Yes, Joe, look, here's the Jamie Dimon quote. The only true use case for it is for criminals, drug traffickers, money laundering, and tax avoidance. I know, but we have a guess.
That's his opinion, DZ.
What is your opinion? And what is your opinion that we have something trading on the exchange for the public that has this type of use case, at least as described by the president of one of the largest financial institutions in the country?
It's the leading market share in ransomware, and that's publicly known. It's the token of choice for ransomware. Joe, if I can say, the U.S. dollar, the euro, the yen, you have the whole society using it as a medium of exchange. We buy our cups of coffee, as I see here. Right. We get paid in dollars or yen or euro. And you have a whole central bank and support for one currency generally per economic region. That we don't have here. So there is a very real economic difference.
Which is part of the attraction, since it's decentralized.
There's a difference. We print the dollar unlimitedly, and we don't have any control over Bitcoin. So it's the primary target for ransomware, is what it seems like.
Why would you want the coin with a 21 million finite cap? I want to hold money that can be printed into nothing.
Yeah, why would I want a decentralized currency?
He doesn't make any sense.
He continues on. It gets worse.
And you can't have a profligate central bank.
It's not that decentralized, Joe.
Well, I know you're saying because of the ETFs, but really it is.
No, it's
for
not
DeFi
that decentralized,
and everything.
because look how finance tends towards centralization since antiquity.
Right.
So what do we have? We have a handful of 3 to 6 core so-called crypto
I understand, but the asset itself, the way that
that's how the
distributed
accounting.
Dude, he already went off on the argument. His argument should have just led with mempools if he really wanted to argue that. He goes dude. By the way, guys, he let Coinbase IPO. Just saying.
Right. That's how the ledger. And
now, how many times do you have people on this show that say, "I want to invest in something because how the books and records are kept"? I mean, Joe, really? It's just an accounting.
I would like to ask, how are the Pentagon's books and records kept? Oh, wait, they're not, because they can't be audited.
They're not audited. Well, and then I don't know what the argument is. That when you look at like earnings ratio, like all your earnings for all these companies, which are a huge deadline every single quarter for these companies, you're looking at their balance sheets. You're looking at their books. And that makes your investment decision on whether you're going to sell it or not as an asset management group.
Literally every single traded stock has to report quarterly. They have to. They all have their books up. They just put it up every 4 months instead of, a block every 10 minutes.
This is oh my
God. A ledger that everyone has and can't be double counted. It's almost immutable. That's why people
it's the
think
purpose.
it has
So
inherent
you
value.
trust it more than an Oracle database, or you trust it more than
a
a
lot of the Bitcoin bulls say they trust it a lot more than the central bank that enables the fiscal authorities to
Let's
spend
go,
money to
CNBC. Okay.
That's everybody's investment choice. But
and then I think about how many things can be used in a deleterious way. Of course, but that has nothing to do with the underlying thing that you're using itself. I mean, I can go run a car into a parade and run over 40 people. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have cars. Does it?
No. You should have corpus.
I wasn't going to use
Joe.
guns because, God, I don't want to trigger, so to speak, anyone on the set.
Ooh,
But,
when did
Oh, my
CNBC
God.
become so based?
Yeah. What a weird time for a pun right there.
He's like,
I don't
well,
want to trigger.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Oops, I didn't mean to say that word.
He's right. He's right. And Gary Gensler's like, well, yeah, you need the car, but it's the car's fault.
Well, and you know what? I always talk about this. The number one way that people facilitate money laundering is the shell corporation game. But you don't see a whole bunch of people up and because they like the shell corporation game. They play the shell corporation game.
We got last 15 seconds here. Minute.
But when the use case of a particular thing that you're buying and selling as an investment is just speculative investment.
how many of the 90% of the people that own Bitcoin are using it for ransomware? There must be another use case that makes it so attractive to so many people.
Speculative investing.
Right, speculative investing. That's what. Okay, let me ask a separate question, which is just to pivot this because I think the next sort of order event question is what happens to Ethereum. For those in the crypto world, they all want to know how you're thinking about that. And really, if Ethereum is a security, how does that analysis differ from how you would think about Bitcoin?
What we did in January was cabin to one set of filings. We have other filings. You're absolutely right in front of us, but I'm not going to prejudge it for you or the audience. That's something that a 5-member commission discusses and
You're on that commission.
reviews.
You're the leader of the commission,
dude.
Oh, I can't say what's going to happen because it's up to that group of people. I mean, the group of people that you're in. If there's only 5 of, I just don't know what that group of people is going to do. You mean the group of people that you're the leader of? Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to say.
I think the takeaway from this too is just what a great interview. I mean, from CNBC coming out and defending that asset and saying, Gary, you don't have, I could take a car and drive that through and plow through literally a parade of people. Does that make the car responsible? He's like, no, you need that car to drive.
The tool could be used for something bad is just always the worst argument because, a butter knife. I've used it 100% of the time for food. Doesn't mean other people don't use it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
Should we ban butter knives? No.
There was he had no walking argument there. And he's just like, it's just such it's regulation by enforcement. It is very clear. It's clearer than ever. Now you have CNBC hosts arguing over this.
Max B, watching this is like learning a new language. Folks, if you are just now tuning in, we bring you live content 5 days a week. We're bringing you content 7 days a week. And we're here 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And those who don't know, central banks, they are in charge of printing your U.S. dollars. And then, you ever see a printing machine? That's what they used to do. Now they're like, and that's why things are more expensive. And I don't know if we'll have time today. Tomorrow, we're going to play a video on inflation and the inflation numbers that just came out. We're going to do a live react on that as well. They say, 2.9%, 3.6%. Well, we look at a video where they actually do the math of the individual items. They're fudging the numbers. They're lying to you.
The government's fudging numbers?
No, they would never do that.
They would never do that. But, speaking of who's fudging numbers himself, it's Peter Schiff here. He's always the infamous, world's ending gold bug that takes place here. Gold crashes below $2,000, but Peter Schiff is still obviously bullish. He still thinks it's incredibly bullish. I'm actually, I do believe gold's bullish, but let's see what he has to say.
All right, what would you rather buy, gold or silver?
Silver in a heartbeat, Bitcoin over gold. But I would diversify into all three assets.
Silver over gold, Bitcoin over
I'm not
silver.
expecting gold to go to $4,000.
No. I do think I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 3K this year. It'd be a little surprising since it is, such a large asset. Was it, number one, the world's largest asset? But when you look at paper trading and physical bullion, I think that market could move quickly. More quickly than people expect.
I agree. And he comes out and says the Consumer Price Index reported published on the morning of February 13th brought a higher inflation figure than was previously expected. So we covered this yesterday, but Peter Schiff came out and in response to that CPI, guys, he said today's hotter than expected CPI caused gold to fall below 2,000 for the first time in 2024. But the news is actually bullish for gold as it confirms the Fed wasn't able to raise interest rates high enough to stop inflation from running out of control. The game is over. So now he's telling his audience and betting on the fact that the Feds are going to raise interest rates again. That's what that tweet was. It seems like it was subtly saying is that the Feds are going to have to be forced to raise interest rates even higher to bring down that inflation when it could be a bounce due to supply chain issues, what's going on in geopolitical tensions. So we won't even really know. The thing about inflation, it's a very much lagging indicator. And so, coming out next month, it might drop again by 2%, right? So we don't necessarily know what the Fed's decisions will be for those rate cuts in May or June. I am expecting to see them in the latter half of this year, though. So we'll see what actually takes place with those rate
You have
cuts.
been saying you're not expecting first half, first quarter, and I'm feeling you're more and more likely to be correct, just given off the couple of days.
Yeah.
Really, the CPI data yesterday was very, very shocking.
Yeah, and
it's a lot worse than what they're reporting here.
Yeah, exactly. And like you just said, the fudging of numbers, the soft landing, there's a lot of arguments around that with, the recession may be coming. Again, I think we got a little bit more time. The one thing I can trust the government to do is just kick that can down the road by an extra month or 2 months. And we are in the middle of an election here. But shout out to Bitcoin Rat, gifted one Discover Crypto membership here to, who was it given to?
Padrino got it. Cool. Appreciate that, Bitcoin Rat. So you're gonna hear a lot of numbers, and we're gonna talk about it again tomorrow. So I don't want to beat the dead horse too hard here, but prices are down on eggs and milk from the peak. They're still higher than they were 3 years ago. So both things can be true. Things are more expensive over the past couple years, but there's a few select items that are down from their peak. So yeah, maybe things are cheaper, things are more expensive. Both things are true at the same time. They're hoping that you can't tell the difference or read between the lines. This is for you, government. Read between the lines.
Yeah, and we're pulling up a video, I think, later on in this episode where it breaks down how that percentage comes to. You want to save it? Okay, we'll have to save it. We'll say Cardano founder declares crypto under attack. Legacy is eating crypto. So Hoskinson, who just came on an amazing interview, the greatest interview of all time on this channel, came out and said in a recent video titled "Legacy is eating crypto," the founder has expressed concerns about the increasing centralization of power in the cryptocurrency industry. Hoskinson specifically highlighted the dominance of a few top companies in Bitcoin and stablecoin sectors. So this just tells me Gary Gensler has no idea what he's talking about, because his argument should have just pivoted towards mempools, and there would have been an actual discussion there, but that's still not up to him to monitor and police. Bitcoin Rat coming in with another 5 crypto memberships here to Laserface, Objectively, Lovebreakers, Mark, and Scotty. Dude, Bitcoin Rat, love you, appreciate you. Thank you so much, brother. In the centralization of stablecoins here, though, Hoskinson pointed out that the asset-backed stablecoins, such as Tether and USDC, control a significant portion of the overall market. And I've talked about this for years. I thought the CBDC was a mask. That was the smoke and mirrors of them being like, oh, we must prevent everything we can do in our power to stop the central bank from issuing a digital currency. And while that was taking place the entire time, there was very few companies, 2 to be specific, which of course ends up being Tether, and of course, your USDC launch-backed company by Circle, that started gaining the majority of that industry and now hold a massive monopoly over the stablecoins narrative.
I'm a free market guy, and it seems like no one's built a better product than Tether. And the day that happens, I'll take my profit in that stablecoin. But I think I've used Tether more often than USDC or DAI significantly over the past 12, 18 months.
I won't be using these now, though.
I've used a little Zed, though. Shout out to Cardano.
I use USDT. I always use Tether or USDC. But hey, Kraken, guys, this is a crazy announcement coming out of the UK. Sorry to the UK holders here, guys. Started requiring users from the UK to verify their self-custodial crypto wallets. So you don't have to now do your KYC for an exchange. You now have to KYC. If you take money from that exchange and send it to your self-custody wallet, you're supposed to now legally tell the government where that money's going.
You got to tell on yourself.
Yep, you got to tell on yourself that that's your cold storage. So
what
they can track
if you're like you're paying your own self for a haircut? So I cut my own hair. Should I pay taxes on me moving Tether around if I'm paying myself for my own haircut?
Yeah,
Should I tip myself?
That's exactly what has to happen. And then you have to donate that hair as well and pay the government to take your hair.
Yeah,
it's a whole process.
Speaking of tipping culture, I bought some crumble cookies. I walk through the building. I interact with an app. I interact with the iPad literally facing a corner, not facing. There's like a little corner with the menu, not facing any of the people. In fact, I'm like at a 3/4 away to my back to them. In the corner, huddled up. I'm typing in my name. I type in my order. I end up paying there. And then at the end, do you want a tip?
Yeah, it's just it's too much. It's too much, and it's like now 25%. It used to be.
Dude, it started 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
And
it's just going to be 50%. They'd be like, hey, you want to double it? Yeah. So, this comes from James Van Straten on Twitter here, and he tweeted out, oh, the UK is finished. Surveillance state it is. Yes, the United Kingdom is turning into a complete surveillance state here. This is looks like an email from Kraken that says, hello, so-and-so. Regulations in the UK require that we maintain up-to-date information about our clients and their account activity. Regarding self-custody wallets, a self-custody wallet is one where you manage your private keys yourself, for example, a hardware wallet. Please reply to this email. So yes, they want not only your address, your money, all of your information, all your privacy information. They want all of that, right? They don't want any privacy And they now want you to actually step up and say, hey, this is where I'm sending my money to. I have my self-custody wallet in this exact location. Here's the keys. Now, obviously, they don't want to go that far, but they want to monitor and surveil all of that. So you can't ever have any privacy now in the UK unless you want to face fines and potentially.
Yeah, it seems like Europe's turning into a surveillance state, but they've long had a little bit more strict rules around free speech, and it seems like, the slippery slope is playing out right now, folks. You got to fight. You got to fight every inch, every centimeter, every millimeter. You got to do the same thing that the smoking industry didn't do. So the smoking industry, they got bullied. First they got bullied into a section of. First they got bullied out of airplanes. Then they got bullied into a section of a restaurant. Then they got bullied to the bar.
Yeah.
Then they got bullied to the sidewalk. And now they got to walk across the street.
Yeah.
And so they're doing the same thing with surveillance state. They're trying to bully you out. You got to fight every inch, every centimeter. I hate to say, you got to take a page out of like NRA and the gun advocacy groups. They've learned that lesson.
Yeah. And you have now the Blockchain Association sending letters criticizing Senator Warren. So there is some people standing up against this. Now, obviously, it's not the UK. What happens in the UK, guys, generally, traditionally falls pretty close to, the original source, which is the stepping stone,
it's
right?
like Plymouth Rock, right? They started there, it comes here.
They're going to keep going. And Senator Warren, guys, crypto AML. So while they want more KYC, she wants more anti-money laundering, which all go hand in hand. So will this matter whatsoever? Well, unfortunately, guys, if you watched the episode yesterday with Sam, you would know that we're more than likely stuck with Elizabeth Warren for another 6 years. She's more than likely
going
to
step up in Massachusetts.
Nobody wants to fight her whatsoever. And it's honestly quite pitiful.
I can see it being a risky proposition for a Massachusetts Democrat to do that.
Yeah, the idea is, do I want to risk my career right now or just wait till she's got to be pushed out either way in 6 years?
Yeah, maybe risking more than a career.
Very well, yeah.
I hate
very
to
well
go there,
could
but this is America.
But while she goes, we have people fighting back against this, and we have a lot of initiatives that are taking place. So that is bullish from the blockchain teams coming up with Coinbase specifically actually lobbying now for better policies. But Ledger just teamed up with Coinbase to offer direct to cold storage crypto purchases now. So
that's good. That's smart.
This is really good. My question though comes back to the KYC now though. So if you are going to choose this
you got to
purchase,
KYC. You're basically showing your ledger to the CIA.
Yeah, you're now straight up giving Coinbase your information to your wallets, and that is classified as your self-custody that purchases and sends to it. So
it's a public ledger at that point.
Exactly. Straight up, which at the end of the day, sometimes it is just more convenient, and that's what people want. But, I do think we should all have that right to privacy. We also have Gary Gensler's future role debated as election nears. Now, this one we don't need to necessarily talk about. Again, I recommend check out yesterday's live stream. But Gary Gensler obviously looks like he's going to be doing one of two things. And that's either, of course, staying in his position, but ultimately either stepping down and taking a larger position for like something like U.S. Treasury in this next administration, or, stepping down and moving to another institution like BlackRock. Is really the two-way Goldman Gary goes from here.
Goldman Gary, named that because he was the youngest vice president in Goldman Sachs history. So
100
deeply entrenched in Wall Street, Goldman Gary Sachs is.
And now we have U.S. Treasury outlining fears about use of crypto illicit activity finance at upcoming hearings. So I wanted to just highlight this article really quick. Is it a coincidence, chat, yes or no, that at the same time this was announced that there's an illicit finance at an upcoming hearing, that is for the U.S. Treasury, that Gary Gensler is coming out and talking about Bitcoin being used for illicit activities on CNBC.
Oh, we're going to see all the same facts, figures, statistics. What was he saying? 90% of, I forgot what he said, but I guarantee whatever that sentence was, we're going to hear that verbatim over the next 2 weeks from like 20 different sources. But it's all natural, they weren't given talking points to go out to the press tour with. Never. They would never do that.
No, they would never. They would never. You know what also they would never do? Is appreciate Cathie Wood and what she's done. Cathie Wood doubts SEC approval for crypto ETFs beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I think is kind of the overall sentiment on the entire market at this point, except for some random XRP holders that think that somehow that's going to take place.
Hey, they moved 3% today.
But Cathie Wood, guys, founder of ARK Investment Management, has expressed skepticism regarding the securities and obviously the SEC here, guys, stance on approving spot exchange traded funds following cryptocurrencies beyond Bitcoin, Ethereum. Bitcoin is going to be highlighted as something very similar to Bitcoin because of the process it's gone with the futures ETF. And so if the SEC were to deny them, obviously it is a different asset. So there is ways they can go to court through this, but it is a more likely scenario that they would lose again in court against Grayscale for these ETFs. The following states that Franklin Templeton plans to stake a portion of the ETF's Ether for additional income. So now these asset managers aren't only buying the crypto and taking it off exchanges, they want to actually establish staking mechanisms and utilize that protocol so that way they can earn more rewards. Now they're taking all of this Ether and Bitcoin off the supply. They want to take Ethereum out of the supply as well, but also lock it up in staking, which is even more bullish for the supply-demand ratios in our market. This comes from James Seifert on Twitter here. He said, Franklin Templin just joined the spot Ethereum race here. And of course, his outlook, I believe, is a 60 to 70% chance. And Ethereum ETF is passed by May 23rd, which we have an entire video on.
Did you see what he did last night? Or maybe it was this morning. No, it was last night.
What do you see?
This is his tweet from last night, James Seifert. We've had the pleasure of talking to him on this channel. Had the pleasure? Who did he hang out with? Wait a minute. We're wearing the same t-shirt. He hung out with Michael Saylor. That's right. Can you guess what they spoke about?
Probably an Ethereum ETF?
Hex. No, they talked about Hex.
Oh, don't stroke their egos like that, dude. Oh, my goodness. No, they talked about real currencies that have actually real value and real utility and aren't complete Ponzi's. That is what they talk about because there's a real mature conversations with real adults that don't take advantage of their communities. So there you go on that. I kept going. Crypto custodian Taurus enlists Lido to bring liquid staking Ethereum or staking to Swiss banks. Guys, Wall Street loves crypto. I can't be any more clear. They are in love with it. They're obsessed with it. Banks and asset managers, institutions, guys, want to stake and utilize these restaking methods. This is more money, more income, more GDP for all of these clients that are coming into the industry. They are obsessed with crypto. It benefits them in every single way, shape, or form. And as retail is flooded out, Swiss banks are coming in behind you, sweeping up these restaking protocols and utilizing that to their advantage. You need to pay attention.
I heard a pretty good normalization of how Wall Street views Bitcoin and Ethereum. They look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has a halving every 4 years. For those aren't aware, the daily issuance gets cut in half. They kind of consider that almost like a share buyback program that grows more aggressive as it ages. So you're like, okay, so Bitcoin almost has like a share buyback. You know what they say about Ethereum? Staking yield is essentially dividends. So it's like, oh, I get a crypto with like a 3% dividend, 4% dividend. Oh, so I get more ETH instead of, just cash. So I think, the dividend narrative is going to be big.
Yeah, and it's a huge hole right now in the industry. So Taurus CMO Victor Bussin said in an interview, Bussin, that is a Bussin name right there. The goal is to build a bridge between the world of digital assets with the world of traditional finance. And essentially they see more and more demand from our banking clients to offer these kind of staking services through Lido itself. Now, what is noted though, is that at this point, at no point does it take custody of funds, which can create some difficulty to the uninitiated, pointed out Marvin, Master of Protocol Relations at Lido. So this is a huge stepping stone that if these things do get approved, these things do get pushed through, where banks and establishments can start actually integrating those staking policies and those mechanisms could benefit them immensely, and of course our bags immensely.
Well, speaking of busting, who's been busting? Chainlink. Chainlink's been busting lately, but this isn't too big of an announcement. This is just the degens. The degens are going to be happy. You can now trade Link perpetual 75x leverage. I would not recommend trading Link with 75x leverage. Just buy and hodl.
Yeah, 75x leverage is that's gambling. That's gambling. I mean, you can get lucky, but the thing about that type of leverage is
go to my chart real quick. We hit my take profit zone. I put it a little bit below this wick. Perfect. I don't know exactly where it was, but those who you could have jumped in on my trade late. You still did good, but I just want to say I closed my scalp short before Bitcoin pumps 4 hours later, and they're like, "Oh, Daisy got wrecked." I've already closed my short in profit, baby. Shout out to Blofin.
Yeah, shout out to Blofin, baby.
Look at it bounce, too. Look at it bounce. Yeah, it was going to take away all my gains, but guess what? I closed my trade.
He's holding on here.
And now it's going to dump.
Yeah. Oh, probably, too. It's going to you're going to miss out on the 200% there. But Stacks guy is skyrocketing over 43%. So this is a narrative, the Bitcoin layer 2 narrative I've been speaking about and yapping about nonstop here, that I honestly believe is going to set new all-time highs very easily this year. And that is because Stacks has garnered significant attention in the cryptocurrency industry as it emerges as a leading altcoin contender with an impressive performance surpassing all top 100 tokens, except, of course, Dimension. Stacks has witnessed a remarkable surge in the past 24 hours, catapulting to $2.49 at one point. And this is a Bitcoin layer 2, guys. It's enabling trustless utilization of Bitcoin as an asset in smart contracts and facilitating transactions. So this is your layer 2s that made Ethereum quicker, like Polygon Matic. This is going to be the mechanism that is established to utilize Bitcoin's native layer at a very, very fast pace here. What do you got for us?
Oh my God. I saw something about Dog with Hat was pumping this morning.
Yeah,
I just now read this article and I'm just chuckling because it's actually too good to not share. I saw someone tweeting about that pink hat. I didn't know what was going on. Dog with hat pump because of LeBron James. I need to look a little bit more.
Here's the pink hat before you show LeBron just went. This is dog with hat. That's the token. Now, what is LeBron James wearing?
All right, so we're going to get into it. So Dog with hat is a prominent meme coin on Solana. Pumped 40% in 24 hours. People were freaking out, and it looks like LeBron single-handedly pumped whiff to 40 cents today. We're so back. Josh, could you pull up the dog hat?
Oh, yeah.
What's at the top, too? I can slide it around.
Here you go.
Yeah, go back and forth.
You're telling me that is not the same image.
It was not.
This is not. There's no way LeBron James went into Gucci and there was a random hat that was perfectly identical to the beanie that his grandmother hit him.
Different.
I don't know, man.
It's a little different there. It's a little different. So end up pumping 40 cents.
I don't know.
I don't think LeBron purposely pumped whiff. But you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll take a whiff on that one. I don't know.
I think I don't know. Their community is whiffing up a lot of lines right now, and they need to be cautious with this beanie coming in.
Wait a minute. Whoa, careful talking about communities doing lines here. Jeremiah Dixon, love you guys. Joshua, you're doing a great job. You're very inspirational.
Appreciate you, Jeremiah.
Inspires me every day.
Much love to you, brother. Link is a top 3 coin soon. I 100% agree with that. Guy, I honestly think Link to this date is still one of the most underrated top projects. Link and Polygon Matic. Polygon Matic is still being slept on, and I think that's because of the pool upgrade that's taking place, guys. It is going to become, not only, it's already blockchain agnostic, which means it doesn't rely necessarily on any chain. It is going to become competitive with layer 1s and act as its own layer 1 as well. So I'm incredibly bullish on the new mechanisms that will be rolling out with all the ZK rollups, and I believe they're integrating new methods. I don't know if it was like monolithic or whatnot. I don't need to get into the technicals. All you need to know is it's now, I look at Polygon Matic, and I guarantee a lot of people in the chat look at Polygon Matic as a layer 2. And because of that, I don't think the market has priced in what Polygon Matic would look like as a layer 1. And I think that is a huge motion we'll see in this next bull run coming up. So I think that's top 10 for sure.
KO Kev, Kakinu is pumping as well. Yeah, that one is up 15% today almost. I don't remember exactly after the retracement. I don't remember exactly when I did a 3 meme coin video. This is the 3-month chart right here. So if you bought in on that video, I know you're up right now. So feel good about that one. Josh DZ, give us your opinions on Ledger. You guys should know there isn't a problem with the product or security. Your thoughts? Well, for an opt-in measure, there were some issues. Very few users were affected. It was an opt-in measure. But personally, I haven't really. I like to be a little more liquid personally.
I have a Ledger that literally just I think my VeChain's on it too, actually. So that took forever to set up. But random altcoins that you can't get on, something like an Arculus is my favorite by far. I've used them. I was partnered with them for a very, very long time. Would love to work with them again and just continue on those relationships. But I got the opportunity to actually go watch their CEO debate Ledger live. And it's at this point, I have Arculus is backed by a parent company that's publicly traded. And I'm not trying to sell you on this in any way, but this is what's taking place here, called Compo Secure. And their developer, the guy behind the Arculus wallet, has like 600 and something odd patents, and every single metal credit card that's in your wallet that you slam on the table, it's hard, it's metal. He pretty much created all the patents behind all of those credit cards himself, and they've never been hacked.
He has an RFID patent. I believe is what it is specifically, right?
Maybe. I don't know the exact terms, but what that means, guys, is he's built over like 1.5 billion of these, and none of them have ever been cracked in the history of them. Yeah. So that to me is where I look at the two. But again, diversifying, you never want one wallet, right? You don't want your funds in one place. Because you just never know what
Max
might happen.
B with some really good newer entrant questions here. Just putting your portfolio in a self-custodial wallet or remove it from the market. It does not. It just makes it more difficult to sell. I mean, it's still going to be counted in a market cap. It's still going to be counted for like total tokens.
But you can't sell it from that wallet.
Right. Yeah. But you can't sell it that way unless you want to like sell your Ledger in a McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah.
Also, which is the best wallet? I think that's going to depend on you. I don't want to recommend any wallet with with everything going on, but we do.
I would say Ledger or Arculus. That's what I would say.
Yeah, Ledger, Arculus. Yeah. You're probably going to be pretty good with those two right there. All right, one place.
Arculus is definitely beginner friendly, by the way. But worst thing ever. What's the worst thing? The traffic there. Hey, I did want to give a shout out though to the XRP holders. I know there's a lot of us in that chat. I'm part of that community for a very long time. Ripple did just expand U.S. business by acquiring a New York crypto company. So massive acquisition. I do think this is why we saw a little bit of a price bump finally with XRP itself. But this was a big partnership. Despite its ongoing legal battle with the SEC over the classification of XRP as a security, Ripple remains committed to the U.S. market. So they're expanding despite this lawsuit taking place, which just shows the initiative that They are bullish on their future. They're bullish on Ripple as a company. And I do believe that's going to be a very strong IPO in the future. Last but not least, you have Crypto.com here defending major sponsorship deals with F1 and UFC. Now, this comes as expected because they have positioned itself at the forefront of major fan bases. If you watch the Formula One race in Las Vegas, Crypto.com was planted everywhere on your screen. You could see it all day long. And it looks like for a brand to be established in just a couple of years, it's very challenging to sustain. So they're talking in terms of, believe the price action here. ESPN estimates that the 2023 Formula One season attracted an average of 1.1 million viewers per race in the United States alone. The UFC also boasts a global audience with fights nights over the past 2 years drawing similar numbers to a single F1 race.
All right. Well, speaking of UFC, I think we're going to head, listen, anything you want to add? We get into with the Dana White viral clip.
That's a perfect
You know
intro.
what I'm talking about?
Go for
All right.
it.
Let's go ahead and roll it. All right. He spends a couple seconds fluffing them up here.
Hold up. We got to pause that.
You are an inspiration. You are a philosopher. The way you do business, the way you conduct your business and your friendships and media.
Language warning.
Is I'm jealous. But Dana, I can't thank you enough for being here.
Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.
Did he actually walk out? Wait, did he actually walk out?
Yeah.
What was the question? I was putting the...
No, nothing. He was intro.
He was just done.
Great. It sounded a little, some might say it sounded facetious. You're a wonderful podcaster, philosopher, businessman. And he just said, I'm tired. You know what? I'm tired of Bitcoin pumping. I'm tired of it,
guys. I'm tired of it, guys.
I'm tired of it. Tired of Bitcoin pumping.
Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Did I just say y'all? Man, that Georgia be hitting me.
Happy Valentine's Day, Cat.